Okay, Vice Chair.
That if you are handling audit report from the Auditor General, and the CEC indicates that I got instruction from the governor, why don't you appear before the Public Accounts Committee of the Assembly to answer or to clear the air? Why do you think it will be difficult?
Governor?
If it's in the interest of good governance, I will attend, because the same questions which I am asked here, I can also be asked by the County Assembly. But if we mix things up, and when I was asking you to indulge me before Senator Wambua, I wanted to say the governments, if you look at the governments, the national government and the county governments, the way our Constitution, Kenya 2010, set up those governments, really they more or less mirror one another. So if the question you have put to me, as CEO, should I appear? Yes, I can appear. Also, at the national government, let the same apply.
I think, Governor, you may be having more degrees than I do, but Article 125 does not require a degree to interpret. On the part of Parliament, it says, either House of Parliament and any of its committees has power to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. County assemblies have got similar powers to summon any person. Just this morning, we have said we expect the speakers of the Senate to summon the president to come and provide evidence of the unethical conduct that has been talking about in the public domain. Any person. Senator Sifuna, is the president above the law?
The proper question is whether the president is a person.
Yeah.
Once you get an answer to that, Chair, that's it.
Then he can be summoned.
Correct.
And so it's the same thing. And
of information.
These are conversations that I want the Assembly to take seriously.
Of information.
That the power that Parliament has, you have that power. And we'll be coming to the Assembly.
Chair,
Senator
Cherargei. Let me just go on record. Cherargei, which is my name. Senator of the Republic of Kenya from Nandi County. Maybe to live where Sifuna was, the president is a person, as under Article 120, because in case of any impeachment proceedings, they must appear before the House to defend themselves. Even when you interpret presidency, the former deputy president appeared before the National Assembly and the Senate. So no one is exempted from the law to appear before the houses of both houses of National Assembly and the Senate, or even before the committees, because Article 123, Article 125 of the Constitution as provided. So the question should be, is a person already? And they should. Maybe just one quick before, sorry, Wambua, let me ask Governor, because you have had the raging debate and I saw you in devolution conference. Only two questions, because we are in preliminary. In your appearance before Parliament, especially before Senate or any committee of National Assembly, or even any committee of the National Assembly or the Senate, have you been any way requested in person or through your officers for any favors by any member or any committee of the Senate or the National Assembly? One. Number two, what is your opinion that when you want money, Senate and Parliament are very good friends, but when accountability and transparency comes on plenary, or when accountability and transparency comes on board, it becomes a problem. What is your view as the governor of Kitui and your view as a member of Council of Governors on this aspect of you want to take this? When Senate increased 30 billion, it comes to 415 billion. Senate are very good. Parliament is good. But when you are invited, let me not use the word someone, because invitation is within the context. most of your colleagues are uncomfortable to come and share the country. Why particular road is not fixed? Why water is not available? How did the money use? And you know, Senate and Parliament does not do audit. We just consider as by the Constitution. So that is my second question. That what is the feeling? Are you, because I've heard when the chair asked you, are you willing to appear before Kitui County Assembly? You said you will think about it. So does it mean also when you are called to appear before the Senate or any committee of Parliament, do you normally think about it, or do you follow as an obligation that has been followed by the Constitution 2010? And finally, don't you think if Senate is abolished, or Senate is abolished, don't you think it is a plan to kill devolution? Because you will no longer have a protector. Because the enemies are powerful and they come in different shades. You know, in the Bible, I'm told when somebody went somewhere, the Bible says they went into 7 different directions. I don't know which verse. I'm not a good. You are an Adventist chair, and Bishop is seated to me, Wambua, will tell us the. So is this a strategy to kill devolution? Because sometimes we are expecting to be killed from one direction, but maybe by killing Senate and abolishing Senate, and you know they say before you kill a dog, you give it a bad name and hang it in public and dry. So what is your position on my 3,
Thank you.
Not questions, but your view on the issues?
I think question number 1 had already been put by Senator Sifuna, and it will be the very first question we ask every governor who appears before this committee under oath. But you might just respond for the benefit of Senator Cherargei.
Yeah, thank you for those questions. I'd answer the first one. I've not been asked money. None of my officials told me they were called by anybody to be asked for money or for any favor at all. Number 2 is about accountability. As I said, Article 94 is very clear. It gives the Senate of the Republic of Kenya the power to oversight funds which have been given, appropriated by Parliament. The monies we get, the equitable shares and so forth, they are appropriated by Parliament. That is both the National Assembly and the Senate. So to come, and it's public money, and we are supposed to account for it, particularly when the Auditor General has looked at how we have done things and they have raised certain issues. And the Senate has invited us, as you put, to come and explain ourselves. And I have always, if you look at record, I've always appeared before all the committees. The PIC committee, the PSC committee, and even other departmental committees. Because I believe in constitutionalism, and I also respect Senate. Thank you.
Senator Wambua?
Thank you, Chair. First things first. Let me put my friend, Senator Cherargei, to order. You know, you don't go misquoting the Bible. I know a friend of his who does that a lot of times. It's a person. It's a person, yes. So the book that he's referring to is Deuteronomy 28:7. His one talks about enemies coming against you and God granting that they shall be defeated. And then he says they will come to you in one direction, but they will flee from you in 7 different directions.
Amen.
That's the context. Thank you, Chair. I must take a slightly different trajectory. First, to thank the Governor of Kitui for making that decision. I mean, he has to make a decision anyway, to come or not to come, for making the decision to appear. And especially at such a time as this, when there is a lot of information out there of people rewriting the Constitution in a sitting, just a single sitting, write the Constitution and give orders. I will thank him for choosing to come. To his credit, he has tried to appear before every committee of the Senate, a demonstration that he has respect for the institution of Parliament and for the Senate. Chair, the only thing that I want to hear my governor pronounce himself on is on the worth, what he thinks is the worth of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, and especially in relation to allocation of revenues to counties and county governments. I say this, Chair, because these members here have gone through a lot of pain to push the national executive, first to kill the notion that the national executive can allocate any money to counties. You know that's a notion that all of us must do whatever we must do to kill. That the national executive is just allocated money in the same manner that we allocate money to counties. So the national government should never pretend to anyone that they have the power of the purse. They don't. They have no money to give. The money that they have is given to them by Parliament. So here we are, Governor. We try as much as we can to push the purse to counties, to county governments. But on the question of accountability, we have a big problem, a seriously big problem. From a section of governors, I want to believe that you are not part of that team, because those people, those persons that are doing that are actually the real enemies of devolution. That when questions of accountability are raised to governors, they seek every available excuse not to appear before the Senate, and when they are forced to appear, then they choose to besmirch the Senate in public. Governor, I want to hear you pronounce yourself on the utterances that have been made on the national stage by our own leaders, that Parliament, and Chair, I am very pained, that people would sit, leaders would sit in a meeting addressed by the President. They are called extortionists, and they clap to the President. You know, and I ask myself, where are we as leaders? Governor, we want to hear your position on that matter. Whether appearances before Senate add value to devolution or they don't add value. In that case, then the President has a duty of care to this country to begin a process of amendment of the Constitution to either abolish the Senate or Parliament and rule in a way that he thinks this country should be ruled. I thank you, Chair.
Governor, I think it's a fair question. You're a head of government, so your views on this matter.
Yeah, Chair, my position is very clear that the people of Kenya, when they passed a constitution which was promulgated in 2010, created two houses of parliament, the National Assembly and the Senate. And the Senate is the protector, is seen as the house which serves the role of protecting devolution and county governments. And in it, carrying out their work, they must seek accountability of the monies which have been allocated to county governments. And they do that through inviting governors to come and discuss issues which have been flagged by the Auditor General. And the Auditor General, they do that, they are also doing their duty as provided in law and also the Constitution. And then they are supposed to give their reports to Parliament. And in this case, when it relates to county governments, to Senate. And then the Senate invites us. Article 94, as I said, is very clear. And I personally believe there is a lot of value which comes out of the discussions which are held with the Senate. Of course, out there, sometimes the word grilled is used. Like today, we may see a story saying the governor was grilled on LDCD. But I usually look at the whole thing as an opportunity for us to explain ourselves, opportunity to be advised on how to do things going forward. And we have benefited a lot. And we can't just be happy with the Senate when they fight for more money for us and when they are on our corner in a whole variety of issues. And the views which were captured during the devolution conference, we were all there. Our Kenyans had them because it was live. Then also written in the newspapers. Yesterday, during the PG, between Kenya Kwanza and ODM, we all heard what was there. If you look at all the three papers, the Standard Nation and what do you call it, the Star, even the People and so forth, they are all there. That's the opinion of those who express that. And I don't think there's any governor who expressed that in that particular forum. And as I said, I've never sat in a Council of Governors meeting where somebody has raised issues or impugned the image of the Senate. Because if that happened, some of us will, because we've been in that space for quite some time now, be able to indicate to them, let's not go that direction. If we don't have Senate, as Senator Chirangai indicated, we may not have county governments in another 5 years or so. The only thing, and allow me to say this, which I'm usually asked and which also the Auditor General flagged, and I don't quite agree with it, is when you say county governments should not contribute something in the kitty of the Council of Governors, and we should be held personally responsible, even recommending us to EACC. If we...
Governor, that's a substantive audit question here, so we'll deal with it when it gets there. And
Can I just
don't deal with it now, because it will be treated casually. It's in your report.
Okay, but
So go to your next point, leave that one alone.
Okay. That one means killing devolution. If there is one thing designed to kill devolution, is to make sure county governments don't have the wherewithal to take a matter to court when they feel very aggrieved, like the road maintenance levy fund. Thank you.
Okay, COG does not appear in this constitution. The Senate does.
Chair, you know that discussion with governor has pricked my mind. Maybe we need a constitutional adjustment. Because I was wondering, does the duty to protect devolution, like our role is stated clearly under the Constitution, our job is to defend county governments, counties and their governments. Is there a reciprocal duty on the part of COG to also defend institutions that defend them? From a moral perspective, I would think yes. Now, governors provided the platform in Homa Bay for the Senate to be assailed. You have said nothing so far. What is this that needs to happen for you to come out and say, no, 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 we are not bribing senators? What are you waiting for?
And if you notice, Senator Sifuna, the governors waited for us to do the formula.
Yeah.
And we did it in favor of the small counties,
Correct.
which has not happened before.
Chair, I can confirm I'm beneficiary.
Rakanithi is a beneficiary. They waited for us to pass DORA and got unprecedented amounts of money, 415 billion. If you add conditional grants, we are probably at the 450 billion that Senator Sifuna's party has proposed. They waited for us to pass Kara. Kara was signed in Homa Bay. They waited for money to hit the account. Yes. Then they attacked. They attacked when the money was in the account.
But
what else demonstrates bad faith?
It is absolute bad faith. But I can assure you that on this journey, our paths will cross again, Governor. A friend from, where is it from? Kericho.
Order, Senator. Order. You are a judge, and I hope you're not talking about what I think you're talking about. I think let's not threaten the governor. The paths have crossed, so we shall deal with him today.
Yeah, what is very critical, what is very important on Sifuna's presentation is whether there is any reciprocal role that the governors are supposed to play. Because is there any way you people can wake up and say, no, these guys have been doing a lot to us as governors? Because we have done much as senators.
You see, until and unless they go on record, and that mongrel they're calling COG, go on record to say that we are not bribing parliament, as the president says, anything short of that, they'll just be dancing on our grave.
No, Chair. This is the reason why I bring up the matter in the rift. I'm not anticipating debate. But can you imagine now, every single party who gets an unfavorable decision in the Senate will be saying it is because such and such a thing happened. That is the problem we have, Governor. Some of us have really worked hard to have a clean image in public life. I was told when I joined the Senate, your choice is just two. When you join this public leadership, because you remember, Chair, all the machinations around even dismantling the majority coalition, there were people who were enticed, I don't know what happened, to join the government side. We were elected on the same Azimio coalition. Some of us have chosen to just do our jobs. But now we are being lumped in together, you know? So whatever decision we take, because nobody will ever be happy with, not everybody will be happy with the decision. So if you impeach a governor, they say you impeached him because he bribed, or somebody else or his opponents bribed you. If you save him, even if there is a compelling reason not to impeach a governor, they say we were bribed. So that's why I'm saying, Chair, this conversation is far more important than people actually appreciate. We will come to a level where some of us, Governor, we will take very drastic action sometimes so that people leave us alone.
I think, Chair, what Senator Sifuna should be assuring this country is that in whatever circumstance, we shall stay the course. We shall stay the course.
In accordance with the Constitution,
yes, we
in
shall
accordance
stay the
with,
course.
with statute.
We shall stay the course.
I want to make that assurance, Governor. Some of us are made of sterner stuff. I can assure you. It doesn't matter. You know, there are people whose professions don't require them to take oaths. I think it's only doctors and lawyers who take oaths. When I was admitted to the bar, I was made to take an oath to defend the law and the Constitution. So it doesn't matter. Let them say all the things they want to say about Sifuna, about the Senate. We will be remaining, retaining fidelity to the law and the Constitution. That one I can assure you. But some of your friends are making our life very difficult.
We also swore an oath to defend and protect this Constitution. Senior Counsel, please go on record, and then I think we need to move this a little bit fast. We turn to the County Assembly.
My name is Okongo Omogeni, Senator of Nyamira, and a member of this committee. Thank you. Perhaps
to advance this conversation and to allow maybe the Governor to respond at a later point, Chairman Munyao, this committee of the Senate received the report of the Auditor General on Kitui County on the 6th of March, 2025. The Constitution under Article 229 required us to consider and debate that report within 90 days. Within 90 days, isn't it, Patrick?
Yes, Chairman.
Within 90 days.
Yes.
Now, 90 days technically lapsed on 30th of?
27th of June, 2025.
And that's because they were laid late.
Yes, Chairman.
Ideally, they should have been laid by 31st of December.
Yes, Chairman.
So by end of March, Parliament and the County Assembly were required to have considered, debated, and made recommendations on the report of the Auditor General. The Senate did so through written submissions. I don't think, Governor, you appeared before us. You sent your written submissions. Through written submissions, on 27th of March, 2025, this committee moved the House to adopt its report. It is that report that we are reviewing today to confirm whether the county government of Kitui has implemented the recommendations of the Senate following the report of the Auditor General. That is a process as required by the Constitution, required by the Public Audit Act and relevant statutes. So we are not doing a fresh inquiry. We are doing follow-up of recommendations. That is required under the Public Audit Act. Could you, Honorable Chair, tell us the process you took also when you received this report?
Thank you, Chairman. Indeed, we have received the report at the County Assembly.